And welcome back to Who Would Win. Tuesday's official Who Would Win. This one goes to us from Ernest Savento. Again, one that I'm surprised I couldn't find more in the book. As far as I can tell, you're the only one who gave me the suggestion, Ernest. Scorpion versus Spawn. Now, and let me just readjust that real quick. There we go. More centered to the image. So these are two guys who were human, then became more demonic figures later on. Scorpion from the, something I can't remember the name of the clan. Basically, he was killed. There's a long-standing rivalry with him and Sub-Zero, alleged at least in some incarnations, not every. He was killed. Wei Long clan, I think it's something like that. He was killed. Was brought back. I think he made a deal, if I'm not mistaken. Brought back and basically became a semi-demonic assassin. He's a master of ninjutsu and martial arts. He oftentimes wields a sword or an axe, but obviously his bread and butter weapons are the chain kunai that he keeps. Depending on the interpretation, sometimes it's like a device. Normally it's coming out of his wrist or his palm. And he is a master of the Kusari, I believe it is, the chain fighting. Kusagari is a chain sickle. I can't remember exactly the actual name for. I know like Bokujutsu is like staff fighting. I don't remember what chain fighting is. Either way, he's a master of it. Like he's deadly with it. But that's not all he can do. He can also manipulate hellfire, used to his advantage. He can't really be put down that easily due to his now like demonic nature. And if you go into hell, he'll just grow stronger as he gets in hell. That being said, he can be beaten overall. Like if he's not in hell, it's just very difficult to put him down. He is one of the stronger fighters when it comes to Mortal Kombat. Spawn, Al Simmons, was a mercenary. He got betrayed, then he made a deal with the devil, well, a devil, one of the Hell Lords, and came back as Spawn, a Hell Spawn. As Spawn, all his physical abilities are enhanced, but more importantly, he is now wearing Lilith of the Seventh House, a living symbiotic suit, similar to Venom, although this is a demonic suit that feeds off of his necroplasm that powers his body, but also feeds off the sin and hate of those around him to keep it fed and him powerful. Spawn is capable of a lot, manipulating the elements, energy manipulation, magic, possession. I think he's also capable of exorcism, stealing soul manipulation, that kind of thing, creating change, using guns. If we were looking at like Divine Spawn, he is literally a deity. He's literally a god, stronger than God or the devil itself. Spawn is a master tactician, being a mercenary for many, many years. Spawn is also a particularly great marksman. But as I said, there's really little Spawn can't do. Now, Spawn does have a finite amount of magic he can use. But again, he can circumvent that by, siphoning off the hate and sin from others to fuel his suit. Spawn, though, can be put down. With enough damage, he'd go back to hell. He can also be killed by holy weapons and decapitation. So Spawn's not invincible. Hell, I don't know if he still has it, but in a crossover, Batman gave him a scar with one of his batarangs, and he had carried the scar for the longest time. I don't know if he still has the damn thing. I think they probably have retconned that at this point. I can't remember. I don't know if there are still Spawn comics going on right now, to be honest. Spawn's a very 90s character. But still, Spawn's still cool. Who doesn't love Spawn on some level? So who wins this fight? Well, let's assume that Mortal Kombat's happening, and Spawn happens to be joining Mortal Kombat. Actually, that's a very logical way of putting these two together. And he happens to be the combatant. So, the fight goes down, and, Scorpion's like, get over here! Fires the kunai at him. Spawn just, dodges, grabs it, pulls him in, uses an energy blast, blasts Scorpion. Scorpion is now coming in with some hellfire, but he's countering with his own fire and magic. Now, Spawn actually has a very large advantage here, because Spawn can feed off of all the hate and sin, which there is a lot of, and kind of evil that Scorpion's giving off, and he's got that, baby. He's got that in spades. This is a very angry dude. So Spawn's able to just keep going. He doesn't need to worry about running his necroplasm dry against Scorpion, definitely. So in a battle of attrition, they're kind of on par because neither of them are human, so they don't have the same sort of stamina issues. Unfortunately, from a versatility aspect, Spawn's got the edge here. He can easily just summon up earth, elements, water, fire, lightning. Pretty much he can do just about anything. And on the fact he can also create chains. So, him throwing out the chains, Scorpion, Al's just going to, bring out his own chain, even grab those chains and just start maybe pull Scorpion towards them. Ultimately, Spawn, I think, could just pull out his soul, could just, honestly, just end him, really, which is like a straight energy blast taking off his head, hollowing out his body. You name it, Spawn could probably do it to take him down. Now, there is a catch to this fight, though. What happens if the fight goes to hell? Well, normally you'd say Scorpion's immediately going to take the advantage, but remember that Al's a hell spawn. He is, like, Al as he is now, as Spawn, is from hell. So even though Spawn doesn't necessarily get stronger in hell, he no longer has to worry about draining his necroplasm in hell because he's in hell. He can just, do that all he wants. And if anything, Lilith is going to be so freaking happy because now it's in hell to feed off of all of that. So if anything, Scorpion actually kind of screws himself a bit more, sending Spawn to hell, because Spawn can take advantage of that even more than Scorpion can. And because Scorpion's increase is just gradual, like here's his increase, it's going to keep just doing this at a steady rate as he's down there. Whereas Spawn's kind of like just jumps even more because his already vast abilities become so much more powerful in hell. Because Lilith now can just feed off everything, and he doesn't have to worry about draining his own reserves. So ultimately, yeah, I give this fight to Spawn. Spawn takes this one. What do you think, though? Do you think there's a legitimate way Scorpion could win? I'm not saying Scorpion would go down easy. I'm not saying that at all. Scorpion would give Spawn a good fight. And if anything, he'd probably even get a good couple shots in. I can see a scenario where the kunai goes straight through Spawn's head, but because he didn't decapitate Al, and because Scorpion is anything but holy, it's not going to kill him. He's probably just going to just pull him out and just body him. But still, I see scenarios where Scorpion maybe throws Hellfire at, burns them. But again, it's Hell Spawn. It's really not going to do as much as you might think. Ultimately, Spawn is definitely someone who is not to be trifled with when he's at his max. Scorpion isn't either, but unfortunately, Spawn just has so much more versatility and such a wider array overall of of like techniques to use that I gotta go Spawn in this fight. And I do like Mortal Kombat. Trust me, I'm seeing Mortal Kombat when it comes out, man. I will be there opening night if I have to be. I already picked up my tickets for Godzilla vs. King Kong just a week, as of tomorrow, a week away. You bet your ass I'm looking forward to that. So pumped. Team Godzilla all the way. Until I see Kong deliver the winning, not killing, because clearly got to fight Mechagodzilla later on, but the winning blow. It's Godzilla all the way. And even then, I've already stated my case in my Godzilla vs. Kong video, why I think even that's like, okay, yeah, that doesn't really matter. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. I still got another Who Would Win to do, pre-record for tomorrow, and I got 2 what ifs I got to do. So I've still got a lot to do, but I'm getting through this. These Who Would Wins aren't very long, so it's helping. Till then, thanks for watching. See you later.